Hey, here we are on Brunch with Brian this morning and talking about real estate and real estate issues. And today is actually National Waffle Day, National Waffle Day. And so I think that was kind of funny because that's one of our negotiating techniques. In one of our systems, we teach 33 negotiating techniques for real estate investing. And obviously, that's pretty detailed. So we get into the nitty gritty of it, and that's a lot of fun. So when we're teaching that, one of the strategies is waffling. I'm going to teach you what are the four things you're trying to negotiate on a pre-funded deal. What are the four items you're trying to negotiate? One is purchase price, which is what you're going to negotiate on any deal, regardless of how you're buying it. Yeah, ugly house, pretty house, funding or non-funding, or pre-funded. You always have to figure out the purchase price. Then the next thing you have to figure out the four things very quickly: purchase price, monthly payment, length of term, and down payment. Now, if you're just buying a house for cash and getting some outside third party funding, obviously you do not need to figure out anything beyond the purchase price. But on our favorite kind of pre-funded deals, where it's pre-funded by the seller, then what we have to do is we just have to figure out all four of those four items. So when we're figuring out purchase price, a lot of times because of the nature of a pre-funded deal, we can afford to pay pretty close to what they're asking. But we still ask, if we work this out. Our favorite line is, if we work this out and close whenever you want, what's the least you'll sell the house for? And then follow it up by, is that the best you can do? Now, if you don't want to push them on price too hard because you've advertised we pay full price for a house, you can just say, do you have any wiggle room on that price? Now, that's probably the softest negotiating line that I have, and I like it a lot because sometimes you need something soft. You don't want to come at them too hard. And so, wiggle room is one of my favorite two-word phrases that we like to use, and that's a great negotiating phrase. You should write that down. And of course, it's in all of our scripts. You guys have our what to say and what to do system, hopefully, with that we created with Ron LeGrand over 18 years ago, and we keep updating. It's got all the great videos and all the great role-playing videos of Ron LeGrand and us role-playing every scenario in real estate investing. And so wiggle room is one that I love, and we have a specific clip of our Texas sellers with Ron doing that deal, saying wiggle room. So that's a really good one. But now that's purchase price. Now when you get to monthly payment, you have to figure. A lot of times, if they already have a mortgage on the house, the goal is to just pay what they pay on their mortgage. So make their monthly mortgage payment. So we'll just be covering that monthly mortgage payment. Now, if they don't have a payment, and this is one of the trickiest things to figure out sometimes, is if they don't have a payment, it's hard to just say, hey, if what would the least you take per month? Now, you can ask them that, but it's a hard thing to get a good answer on. People resist it. They don't want to say it. They don't know what the least they take is a lot of times, and they don't want to say it anyway. So you have to approach that. There's a couple of different ways, and I don't want to go too much in depth. If I feel like I have time, I will talk about this some more. But the best way, if it's a free and clear house and there's no mortgage, is run the numbers and do a 30-year amortized mortgage at 4%, and see if that gives you a $300 to $500 a month positive cash flow. That's what you're shooting for, $300 to $500 a month. You got to figure that out. Now, if that 4% doesn't do it for you, then you got to work some numbers around, and sometimes you don't even put the percentage in the purchase and sale contract. So that's some pretty in-depth advanced stuff, but that's on the monthly payment. Now, length of term, hopefully you're just saying, okay, so we'll pay on your mortgage till it's paid off. So that's the idea, is that you're trying to just pay on that mortgage if they have a mortgage. Now, if it's not, if they don't have a mortgage, then again, you're sort of navigating through the Netherlands, and that's when you're saying, what's the longest you can give us? And that's another hard thing for people to say. Well, what's normal? And so sometimes you tell people, and this is one of my favorite lines, is some of our sellers just give us 30 years. They love that monthly payment, and then you just stop and you see what they say. And that will sort of give you your answer. Oh, I couldn't do anything like that. Or, well, I could do something like that maybe, or oh, okay, that sounds good. Sometimes you tell people that this is how it normally works. One of my favorite negotiating lines, since we're talking about negotiating, is write this down. The way it usually works is, and in this world of pre-funded houses, when the seller is pre-funding, when you're using the existing financing, there's a lot of stuff that those sellers to have no idea how it works. And so when you tell them this is the way it normally works, then okay, that sounds good. So that's purchase price, monthly payment, length of term, and now the last one is down payment. And my favorite way to do this is just say, hey, so the way this normally works, the way this usually works is that you'll get your first payment from us when we start making monthly payments, and that'll be after we close, and it'll be in the for the month of blank. And so if they say, okay, I get that, so that's the first payment I'll get from you. They are just agreeing to nothing down. You get that? So it's a very simple way without having to, shove it down their throat that's a nothing down deal. So we started off with waffling as a negotiating technique, which we like. Because what does waffling do? You just kind of say, well, I don't know, I think, and you're talking out loud on the phone. Well, I guess, if I would, but if I, I think, but my wife, and you're kind of waffling like that. Now, what is that doing? It's taking some of the air out of the balloon in an intense negotiation, and it allows you to kind of think for a second, and you're just going to come back with what exactly you said a minute ago anyway. So you're not even going to change your negotiating position. You're just going to throw in some waffling in there to give them a chance to get used to the idea that they're going to say yes. So that's one of my techniques. I have 33 techniques. If you guys are interested in that, call our office. Remember, guys, it's 888-RICH-NOW. You can call 888-RICH-NOW anytime and check in with our office and get some great training. We have the best training anywhere. We love this business of real estate investing, and we love pre-funded properties where it's funded by the seller's existing financing. So guys, let's take our deep breath. Deep breath in. Start your day with a smile. Taking deep breaths always helps with that. Another deep breath. Mars is just looking around. What's going on? Saturn. Another deep breath. All right, great way to start the day. Very exciting. This is Brian saying, what are the things we always check off with? Expect success, get awesome training, and take action, and use these great negotiating techniques we talked about today to make a lot of money. Get out there this weekend and talk to some sellers and get into some closing calls when you can use these negotiating techniques. This was gold what I gave you today, so I sure hope you take advantage of it. Get out there, get on the phone with some sellers, and make it happen, guys. So this is the weekend to do it. We're going into the summer, and it's a great time to take